Hey guys, I hope everyone's well and keeping safe still. I've got a little ab challenge for you today. So it's going to be a 600 rep ab challenge. The way it's going to work is you're going to have two groups of exercises, both of which you're going to go through twice. Each group is made up of 5 exercises that you're going to go through for 25 reps of each. So there's no set time for this workout or anything like that. You do it in your own time, at your own pace, but if you do want to time it, go ahead. It's completely up to you, alright? But the aim of this is numbers of reps rather than how long it's going to take you to do. So if it takes you half an hour, doesn't matter. Takes you 15 minutes, awesome, great. But it's down to you, there's no pressure, alright? So, where it's going to work, we've got those 2 groups of exercises. You're going to go through each of those groups twice, okay? And then we've got a finisher for the last 100 reps, which is just going to be one exercise that you're going to work through continuously until you hit all those reps. Alright, so I'm just going to crack on and show you the first group of exercises. Okay, so all of these ones I'm going to show you, you will do 25 reps of each, back to back. Okay, obviously you want to go for minimal rest, but as it's a completely ab focused workout, it's going to burn. So if you need to take a few seconds, it's not a big deal. Alright, so first exercise of this group of 5 is going to be single leg V-ups. So pretty much all of the exercises I'm going to go through you today we've done at some point. Might be a couple in there that you've not been familiar with, but I'll go through each of them step by step. Alright, just remember 25 reps. Okay, so starting with single leg V-ups. I'm going to start laying back with your arms extended above your head, legs nice and extended as well. You're going to crunch up, lifting your lower back off of the ground, reaching up to touch the ankle, keeping that leg as straight as possible, and then back down. So that's 1 rep. Then you're going to change legs, and you're going to alternate until you hit 25 in total. Okay, so you will have 1 extra on one side. If, like I know it's going to bug quite a few of you, that really annoys you that they're not even, chuck in an extra rep. Alright, don't take one off. Okay, next one we're going to do is a leg raise with a reach clap. Alright, so starting laying back, hands on top of each other underneath your tailbone, protect that lower back. So you're going to have you start with your legs nice and straight, just hovering off the ground, bringing them up for a leg raise. After you've brought them up, you're going to reach yourself forward, so clap your hands behind your legs, going for that crunching motion. Then hands back underneath your tailbone, lower down. So you want to really crunch up when you're going for that clap, aiming to bring your lower back slightly off the ground so you're getting that real folding motion. Alright, so that was number 2. Next one is going to be scissor kicks with a crunch thrown in. Alright, something a little bit new, but I tried these the other day and they killed my abs. So I thought, why not, we'll chuck them in. So again, laying back, legs nice and straight. We're going to do single legs for this one. So you're going to be bringing 1 leg up at a time, keeping them nice and straight, going for bicycle kicks, but you are aiming to touch the knees, keeping those legs nice and straight. If rather than bicycle crunches with your arms, you want to reach up towards your ankles, it's completely up to you, but ultimately you're going to do that scissoring motion with your legs nice and straight. Okay, so rather than little kicks, we're going for full extension, single legs. Alright, next one. This is the sucky one. So the way this exercise is going to work, you can do 25 on one side for 1, and then you do 25 on the other side. Okay, so it sucks that there's no avoiding this one. Alright, so we are going to do a side plank with a leg raise. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. So stacking elbow underneath the shoulder, you're going to come up onto your hips. I don't know why I paused there. It's very early in the morning still. So stacking your feet on top of each other or one in front of the other, whichever feels more comfortable, and you're going to be lifting those hips off the ground, okay? This one does require quite a bit of core stability, so if you need that little bit of added support to keep your balance, then by all means pop your hand down in front. Whichever's going to give you the added support is completely up to you. Either way, it's going to be working your core. Alright, so coming up, bringing one hand on the floor if you need to. I'm going to keep mine on my hip. You're then going to do one leg raise whilst in that side plank, okay? If it is too much for you to do a full side plank, then have one knee flat on the ground, other leg straight over the top, stacked over the top of it, and you're going to use that bottom leg to push your hips off the ground so you're hovering, okay? So like that, it works exactly the same way, raising that leg up and down. So you're going to do 25 on one side, you're then going to switch side and do 25 on the other, okay? So that is the first group of 5. You're going to do 25 of those back to back, then you're going to go on to the next group and do 25 of those, then you will come back to this group and you're going to repeat it, alright? So you, ultimately, of the 2 groups of exercises, you're going to be doing 2 rounds of each one, 25 reps times 5 for each one, alright? I'm going to put all this in the description because it probably sounds really confusing with the way I'm explaining it at the moment. I've only had one coffee, so bear with me. Alright, so I'm going to show you the next group now. First one we're going to do is staggered Russian twists. Now, obviously, with Russian twists, a lot of people go for speed. That is absolutely fine, but the whole point of how we're going to do them now is we're going to really slow them down and stagger the movement, breaking each part of it down, okay? So, you're going to be sitting back onto your tailbone, if you can, hovering your feet off the ground, but if you need to, keeping them flat. Ultimately, as long as you've got a nice tightened core and you're leaning back, you are going to feel it no matter what, okay? So, obviously, usually you rotate, aiming to touch the ground, and you're going to go for speed to get in as many reps. The way we're going to do it, we're going to break it down and slow it. Alright, so hovering on that tailbone again, you're going to rotate to one side, you're then going to come to the middle, pause for a second, then to the other side, and then back. Okay, so nice and slow, going one side and then the other back to the middle is 1 rep. So it's middle, 1, middle, 2. Okay, so it's going to be put a lot more stress on your core, but that's just going to fire up those muscles and burn. Alright, so slow it down. If you can go even slower, amazing. Like I said, it doesn't matter if your feet are hovering or not. Ultimately, it's whatever feels more comfortable. Okay. Next one we are going to do is a slow mountain climber variation. Alright, so you're going to come up onto your front for these, wrist stacked underneath your shoulders, up onto your toes. You're then going to bring one knee to the opposite arm. You're then going to draw it across to the other arm and then back. And you're going to do it nice and slow, alternating. So ultimately you're going to be drawing a bit of a triangle. Alright, I'll show you from the front. So coming up, one knee to one side, drawing over to the other, and then back. Okay, so the slower you do this, the more it's going to absolutely kill your core. Okay, if it gets too much, have a little rest in between, or if you need to, just pick up the pace of those reps to get them out a little bit quicker. Okay, next one I did with you guys in a video a few weeks ago. We're going to be doing 360 sit-ups. Okay, so going to be bring your feet flat on the ground so your knees are up, laying down, hands either on your temples, across your chest, wherever feels comfortable, or if you want to use your arms for momentum for this, you can. I will show you how I do that. So coming up for a sit-up, but you're going to rotate round, 360, back down. So as you sit up, you're going to be crunching one side more than the other. So you should feel a deep stretch down the other side. Rotate your body round. So you're stretching out this side then, and then down. That's 1 rep. So if you want to do one each side, or you want to do all one side, is completely up to you. But doing that 360 motion is going to really hit your obliques as well as all the front part of your abs. Alright, so 25 of those. Then we are going to do a couple of tabletop exercises. Alright, first one we're going to do is corner crunches. Okay, so for a tabletop position, you're going to be laying back with your legs up at that 90-degree angle. You're then going to start with your hands on your temples, and you're going to be crunching up over, bringing one elbow to that knee, and then back. So you're going to individual reps, elbow to knee. Okay, if you can't actually touch your knee, it's not a big deal as long as you're focusing on hitting that general direction. You're going to feel it, because I instantly felt that just doing those 3 reps. Alright, and then the last one you're going to do is double tabletop floor taps. Okay, so starting off in that tabletop position again, but you're going to stack your hands on top of each other underneath that tailbone to protect that lower back again. Okay, so coming up, you're then going to do both legs at the same time. You're going to lower them down to the ground, keeping them in that tabletop 90-degree angle, and then back up. So we've got 25 of these in total. If you want to make it tougher, add in a crunch. Okay? If you want to make it easier, single legs. Now, I see a lot of people when they do this movement doing this or that. Try and avoid all of the movement coming from your knees. You want to really concentrate on moving your hips to hit that lower part of your abs more. Otherwise, it's just going to be more of a leg extension rather than actually focusing on your abs. Okay, so you want all the movement to come from the hips, and concentrate on keeping that tabletop position throughout the exercise. Okay, so showing you again, tapping down one at a time, adding the crunch. You're going to curl up into a ball, extending out as you lower your feet down to the ground. Okay, so you got 25 of each of those exercises. You're then going to go back to that first group, and you're going to repeat that set, 25 of each. Then you're going to come back to this one and repeat this one. Okay, so that should take you to 500 reps. All right, the last 100 is going to be for your burnout. One single exercise, 100 reps. Okay, we're going to be doing plank, pike, ankle taps. Okay, I have done these with you in another video. I absolutely love them, and they're really good for stretching out your back as well as toning up your core. So yeah, 100 of these, and then that is your full 600. So you are going to come up into a high plank. So wrist tucks underneath your shoulders, up onto your toes. You're then going to widen your stance slightly, so your feet slightly widen, hip width apart. Spread your fingers and dig your fingertips into the ground, because that's going to help you with the balance and stability for this one. You're then going to move through the hips, keeping the legs nice and straight, to reach through and tap one hand to the opposite ankle, then lower back down into that plank. Try not to dip the back, keep that core nice and tight so you remain in that straight line, and you're going to alternate each one. Okay, if it is too much to keep your legs nice and straight, don't be afraid to add in a soft bend, but the straighter you keep your legs for it, the more it's going to work and stretch your hamstrings as well. Okay, so really concentrate on the movement coming from your hips to lift up, because that pike motion is going to really destroy your core. Okay, so up, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't want to do speed, slow the movement down. Okay, 100 reps to finish for that one. If that is too much, because I know a few people that movement might not be 100% suitable for, there is an alternative, and that is going to be plank jacks. Okay, so I'll show you that, and then we're done. So coming down onto the elbows, making sure again that elbow stuck underneath that shoulder. Onto your toes, keeping that core nice and tight. Body in that flat line. No hips up here or down here. You're then going to jump your feet out, trying to keep your hips still in that straight line, nice and low, and then back in. So little mini jumps, out and in. One jump out, one jump in is 1 rep, okay? So after you've done your 100 of them, you are done. That is 600 reps in total. Hopefully, unlike with the other countdown video, I've actually counted right this time. But with my sleeping pattern, never really know. Anyway, if anyone's got any questions, don't be afraid to give me a shout. I hope you all enjoy this. I really enjoyed putting this workout together. It's nice to do something a little bit different rather than my usual quite high intensity stuff. So just focusing on abs was a bit of a mental challenge for me as well. But yeah, it's going to destroy your core. I hope you enjoy it. Anyone's got any questions, give me a shout in the chat. If not, I'll pop everything in the description below, and hopefully I'll see you soon.